The Galactic Council chamber was filled with thousands of alien leaders. Every seat was taken. Representatives from hundreds of worlds sat together. The room buzzed with voices. Today was an important meeting. They would discuss new trade laws and military alliances. Ambassador ZYX from the Corthan Empire walked to the center stage. He was tall and proud. His blue skin shimmered under the lights. He looked around the chamber with confidence. Then his eyes stopped at one section, the human section. Every seat was empty. ZYX smiled. He started to laugh. Other aliens looked at the empty seats too. Soon the whole chamber filled with laughter. ZYX spoke loudly. His voice echoed in the room. The weak humans are too scared to attend today. Maybe they finally realize they do not belong here. More laughter followed his words. But Council Director Vorn did not laugh. He was an old alien with gray skin and wise eyes. Something felt wrong. Humans were always on time. They never missed meetings. Even when others insulted them, even when others ignored them, humans always showed up. Vorn touched his datapad. He opened the attendance system. His fingers moved quickly across the screen. He checked Earth. He checked human colonies. He checked human space stations. His eyes went wide. His hands started shaking. The laughter in the chamber slowly stopped. Everyone noticed Vorn's face. He looked terrified. Ambassador ZYX walked toward him. "What is wrong, Director? Why do you look so pale?" Vorn's voice came out as a whisper. "They are not late. The humans are gone. All of them." The chamber went completely silent. "What do you mean gone? Gone where?" ZYX grabbed the datapad from Vorn's hands. He looked at the screen. His smile disappeared. Vorn stood up. His voice was louder now. "I mean, every human in the galaxy has vanished. Earth is still there. Their cities are still there. Their ships are floating in space. But every single human is gone." Panic spread through the chamber. Aliens started shouting. Some demanded answers. Some called it a lie. Others pulled out their own datapads to check. Within minutes, the truth was clear. Humanity had disappeared. 6 billion humans. Gone without a trace. The main screen in the chamber lit up. A message appeared. It came from Earth. The message had only 3 words. "You are alone now." The screen went black. The chamber fell silent again. Every alien felt something cold in their chest. Fear. For the first time in their lives, they felt truly afraid, because the ones they called weak were gone. And somehow, that was more terrifying than any war. Ambassador ZYX stood frozen. He remembered the human ambassador, a small woman with kind eyes. She always smiled even when he insulted her, even when he called humans worthless. She just smiled and said, "One day you will understand our value." He never believed her. Now she was gone. They were all gone. And the galaxy suddenly felt very empty and very dangerous. News of humanity's disappearance spread across the galaxy like wildfire. Every news channel talked about it. Every planet discussed it. At first, many aliens felt relief. Some even celebrated. Finally, the weak humans are gone. Now we can take what is ours. The galaxy belongs to the strong. The Corthan Empire was the first to act. Ambassador ZYX sent warships to human colonies. We claimed these worlds in the name of the Corthan people. Other empires did the same. The Vraxian clans took human mining stations. The Pelton Republic seized human trade routes. Within hours, a race began. Everyone wanted human territory. But then something strange started happening. Trade ships stopped arriving on time. Medical supplies began running low. The galactic network started glitching. Small problems at first. Nothing serious. But the problems kept growing. On the planet Xandros, a plague was spreading. Thousands were sick. The hospital sent an emergency request for medicine. "We need human vaccines immediately." But the response came back cold and final. Humans are gone. No one else knows how to make that medicine. The plague spread. People died. The hospital could do nothing. The Vraxian clans faced a different problem. Their mining equipment broke down. Human engineers always fix these machines. The Vraxians tried to repair them, but failed. Mining stopped. Resources ran out. Their economy started collapsing. The Pelton Republic controlled the trade routes now, but ships got lost. Navigation systems failed. Human traders knew every safe path through dangerous space. Without them, ships flew into asteroid fields. Some vanished into black holes. Trade stopped. Planets went hungry. Director Vorn sat in his office reviewing reports. His desk was covered with emergency messages. Every hour brought new disasters. Wars breaking out. Systems failing. People dying. He rubbed his tired eyes. How did we not see this? How did we not know humans did so much? The first major war started on the third day. The Corthan Empire and the Zelvian Dominion both claimed the same human colony. Neither side would back down. Before humans would have negotiated peace. They always stopped conflicts before they grew. But humans were gone now. The battle lasted 6 hours. Hundreds of ships destroyed. Thousands of lives lost. The colony planet was caught in the crossfire. Cities burned. The survivors sent desperate messages. Please stop the fighting. Our children are dying. But no one stopped. No one knew how to make peace like humans did. Ambassador ZYX stood on the bridge of his flagship, watching the destruction. His second officer spoke quietly beside him. Sir, we have won the battle, but lost half our fleet. Was this colony worth so many lives? ZYX said nothing. He thought about the human ambassador again. She once told him that real strength is knowing when not to fight. He called her a coward. Now he understood. She was not weak. She was wise. On the 5th day, something worse happened. A distress signal came from the outer rim of the galaxy. The message was broken and filled with static, but the words were clear enough. They are coming. The ancient enemy is coming. Without humans, we cannot stop them. Then the signal went dead. Complete silence. Every alien in the council chamber felt their blood turn cold. The ancient enemy. The Void Fleet. They attacked 200 years ago. They almost destroyed everything. But someone stopped them. Someone fought them back. The record said the Galactic Alliance won that war. But now Vorn looked at those records again. He saw the truth hidden in old reports. Humans fought that war. Humans died by millions. Humans saved everyone. But they never asked for credit. They never demanded glory. They just protected the galaxy silently. And the galaxy never even thanked them. Now the Void Fleet was returning. And humanity was gone. The galaxy had no protector anymore. They were alone. Truly alone. And something dark was coming for them all. Ambassador ZYX looked at the empty space where Earth used to send its signals. He whispered into the darkness. What have we done? The distress signal from the outer rim was not a false alarm. 3 days later, the Void Fleet appeared. Their ships were massive and black. They looked like pieces of the night sky itself. Sensors could barely detect them. When they moved through space, they left darkness behind them. The Corthan Empire was closest to the invasion point. Ambassador ZYX commanded the defense fleet himself. He had 500 warships, the strongest vessels in the galaxy, advanced weapons, trained warriors. He stood on his bridge with confidence. We are the mighty Corthan Empire. We do not need weak humans to protect us. We will destroy these invaders ourselves. The battle began at dawn. Corthan ships opened fire first. Missiles flew. Energy beams lit up the space. For a moment, it looked like they were winning. But then the Void Fleet returned fire. Their weapons were different. Strange. When they hit a ship, that ship just stopped existing. No explosion. No debris. Just gone. Erased from reality. ZYX watched in horror as his fleet disappeared ship by ship. He screamed orders. Retreat. Fall back. Everyone retreat now. But it was too late. Within 15 minutes, his 500 ships were reduced to 12. The Void Fleet did not chase them. They just moved forward slowly, consuming everything in their path. The survivors returned to the council. ZYX's uniform was burned. His face was covered in ash. He could barely speak. We lost everything. Our weapons did nothing. Our shields meant nothing. They are unstoppable. The council chamber fell silent. If the mighty Corthan Empire could not stop them, then who could? Director Vorn spent the night in the archives. He searched through 200 years of military records. His eyes hurt from reading. His hands shook from exhaustion. But he needed to find something. Anything. Then he found it. Battle reports from the last Void Fleet invasion. The reports showed something shocking. Every major battle against the Void Fleet had human forces present. Every single one. The record said the Galactic Alliance won those battles. But when Vorn looked closer, he saw the truth. Human casualties were always 90% of the total losses. Humans took the heaviest fire. Humans fought the hardest enemies. Humans died so others could live. But the official history books barely mention humans. The glory went to other races. Monuments were built for Korthan heroes. Songs were sung about Vraxian warriors. Pelton leaders got medals and parades. Humans got nothing. Not even a thank you. Vorn felt sick. We lied to ourselves. We rewrote history. We took credit for their sacrifice. And when they needed our respect, we gave them insults instead. The Void Fleet moved deeper into the galaxy. Planet after planet fell. The Zelvian Dominion sent their entire military to stop them. They lasted 2 hours. The Pelton Republic tried to negotiate peace. The Void Fleet did not respond. They just kept coming. Panic spread everywhere. Refugees fled their homes. Space stations were overcrowded. Food ran out. Medicine ran out. Hope ran out. Aliens who once fought each other now huddled together in fear. They all asked the same question. Where are the humans? Someone find the humans. We need them. Ambassador ZYX sat alone in his chamber. He was looking at an old photograph. It showed him standing next to the human ambassador at a peace conference 5 years ago. In the photo, he was looking at the camera with pride. But the human ambassador was looking at him. She had a sad smile on her face, like she knew something he did not. He remembered that day clearly now. After the photo, she spoke to him quietly. Ambassador ZYX, one day you will need us, and we might not be there to help. He laughed at her words. Humans always helped. They were too weak to do anything else. Too soft to say no. He took their protection for granted. Now she was gone. They were all gone. And he finally understood what that sad smile meant. She knew this day would come. She knew they would push humanity too far. She tried to warn him, but he did not listen. A new report came to the council. A scout ship found something near Earth. A single human vessel floating in space. It was empty but intact. They boarded it carefully. Inside they found supplies. Food, medicine, equipment, everything the galaxy desperately needed right now. In the center of the ship, they found a recorded message. The council played it on the main screen. A human face appeared. It was not the ambassador. It was an old man with tired eyes. His voice was calm but cold. We warned you for decades. We protected you for centuries. We bled for you, died for you, and you called us weak. You mocked our kindness. You stole credit for our sacrifices. We are tired. We gave everything. You gave us nothing but hate. So we left. This ship contains enough supplies to help a few thousand people. It is more than you ever gave us. Use it wisely, because it is the last help you will ever receive from humanity. The message ended. The screen went black. The council chamber was completely silent. Every alien felt shame burning in their chest. They were right. We deserve this. We deserve to fall. But innocent people were dying. Children who never insulted anyone. Families who just wanted to live. They did not deserve to suffer for the pride of their leaders. Director Vorn stood up. His voice was firm. We must find them. We must go to wherever they went and beg for forgiveness. It is the only way. But where did they go? How do we find them? Ambassador ZYX looked at the empty screen. He knew finding humans would be nearly impossible, but they had no choice. The Void Fleet was coming, and without humanity the galaxy would end. Director Vorn formed a search team. He chose 5 members carefully. Each one represented a different race. He included Ambassador ZYX despite protests from other council members. ZYX was the one who insulted humans the most. But Vorn knew something important. ZYX was also the one who felt the most guilt. That guilt would drive him to try harder than anyone else. The team prepared their fastest ship. They loaded it with supplies for a long journey. Their mission was clear: find humanity, bring them back, save the galaxy. But no one knew where to start looking. Humans left no clues, no messages, no trails. They simply vanished. The team decided to begin at Earth. Maybe something there would help them. The journey took 3 days. When they arrived, everyone fell silent. Earth looked beautiful from space. Blue oceans, green lands, white clouds. It looked alive. But when they scanned for life signs, the readings came back empty. 0 humans, 0 animals. Even plants showed no movement. They landed near a major human city. The streets were clean. Buildings stood tall and undamaged. Cars were parked neatly. Lights still worked. But not a single person walked those streets. It felt like everyone just disappeared in the middle of their day. Coffee cups sat on tables still full. Books lay open where someone was reading. A child's toy was left on a playground swing. The team split up to search different areas. ZYX went to the government building. He walked through empty halls. His footsteps echoed loudly. He found offices filled with paperwork. Computer screens still glowing. Everything was normal except for one thing. No people. He entered what looked like the ambassador's office. Her nameplate still sat on the desk. Ambassador Chen. He remembered her name now. He never bothered to use it before. Just called her human. Like her name did not matter. He sat in her chair and noticed a journal on the desk. ZYX opened it carefully. The pages were filled with handwriting. He started reading. The entries went back years. Most were simple work notes, meeting schedules, policy ideas. But some entries were personal. One entry from 2 years ago made him stop breathing. Today, Ambassador ZYX called us parasites in front of the entire council. Everyone laughed. No one defended us. I smiled and said nothing, because that is what we do. We absorb their hate. So it does not turn into war. We protect people who despise us. Sometimes I wonder if we are fools. But then I remember the innocent lives depending on us. So we stay. We endure. We serve, even when it breaks our hearts. ZYX felt tears running down his face. He never cried before. Korthan warriors did not cry, but he could not stop. She smiled at him that day. He thought she was weak, too scared to fight back. But she was not weak. She was strong enough to choose peace over pride, and he was too blind to see it. Vorn's voice came through the communication device. Director to all team members. Come to the research facility immediately. I found something. ZYX wiped his face and ran toward the coordinates. The other team members were already there when he arrived. The facility was underground, deep below the city. The entrance required special codes, but the doors were left open. Like humans wanted someone to find this place. They went down a long tunnel. At the end, they found a massive chamber. In the center stood a portal. It was circular and huge, 50 meters wide. The surface rippled like water, but glowed with blue light. Next to the portal was a control station. Vorn was studying the screens. His hands moved across the controls. This is a dimensional gateway. Humans built it in secret. It leads to another universe, a place beyond our reality. They escaped through here. One of the team members asked the obvious question. Can we follow them? Vorn nodded slowly. The portal is still active. They left it open, but I do not know why. Maybe they forgot, or maybe they left it open on purpose. ZYX walked closer to the portal. He felt energy coming from it, warm and inviting, but also frightening. He noticed something attached to the control panel, a small note written on paper. He picked it up and read it aloud. We left the portal open. If you truly need us, you can follow. But ask yourself first, do you deserve our help? Do you deserve our sacrifice? We gave you everything. What did you give us? Think carefully before you step through. Because if you come begging, we will ask you why we should care. And you better have a good answer. The words hit everyone like a physical blow. The team stood in silence. They all knew the truth. They did not deserve human help. They treated humans terribly, used them, insulted them, took them for granted. Why would humans come back for people who hated them? But Vorn thought about something else. Millions of innocent people were dying. Children who never hurt anyone. Families just trying to survive. They did not deserve to suffer because their leaders were fools. He looked at his team. We have to try. Not for us. For the innocent ones who will die if we do nothing. Ambassador ZYX agreed. His voice was quiet but determined. I will go through that portal. I will beg on my knees if I have to. I do not care about my pride anymore. Too many people are dying. If there is even a small chance humans will help, we must take it. The other team members nodded. They were all afraid. Afraid of what they would find beyond the portal. Afraid humans would reject them. Afraid they would fail. But doing nothing was not an option. The Void Fleet was getting closer every day. The Council homeworlds would fall within a week. This was their last hope. Vorn sent a message back to the Council. We found a way to reach humanity. We are going through. If we do not return within 5 days, assume we failed. Prepare for the end. He did not wait for a response. He walked toward the portal. One by one the team followed. ZYX was last. He looked back at Earth one final time. A beautiful planet abandoned by its people. Because the galaxy was not worthy of them. He whispered an apology into the empty air. Then he stepped through the portal. The sensation was strange. Like falling and flying at the same time. Colors swirled around them. Sound that made no sense. Time felt broken. Then suddenly everything stopped. They were standing on solid ground again. But this ground was not Earth. They were somewhere else. Somewhere impossible. Somewhere humans had built a new home. And what they saw took their breath away. The team stood frozen in shock. They were standing on a hill covered in soft grass. The sky above them was not black like space. It was blue with 2 suns shining gently. In the distance they saw mountains with snow on top, rivers flowing through green valleys, forests full of life. The air smelled clean and fresh. This place was paradise. But what shocked them most were the cities. Human cities spread across the landscape as far as they could see. But these cities were different from the ones they left behind. No pollution, no crowded streets. Buildings were made of white stone and glass. Gardens grew on every roof. Children played in parks. People walked peacefully. Everyone looked happy. Vorn could not believe his eyes. How long have they been here? How did they build all this? One of the team members checked her scanner. According to these readings, this universe operates on different time rules. A few days in our universe equals months here. They have been building this world for a long time. Ambassador, ZYX noticed something else. Humans were not alone here. Other species lived among them. Small creatures with fur. Tall beings made of light. Even some mechanical life forms. All living together peacefully. He realized something painful. Humans found new friends. Better friends. Friends who probably treated them with respect. A voice spoke behind them. You finally came. The team turned quickly. Standing there was someone they recognized. The human ambassador. Ambassador Chun. But she looked different. Younger somehow. Healthier. The sadness was gone from her eyes. She wore simple clothes and held a basket of fruit. Director Vorn stepped forward. His voice shook. Ambassador Chun, we came to ask for help. The galaxy is dying. The Void Fleet has returned. We cannot stop them without you. Please, we need humanity. Chun looked at them for a long moment. She did not look angry, just tired. She set down her basket. Follow me. The Council is expecting you. We saw you enter the portal. We knew you would come eventually. The team followed her down the hill toward the nearest city. As they walked, humans stopped to look at them. No one seemed afraid. No one seemed angry. They just looked curious. Some whispered to each other. Some shook their heads sadly. Children asked their parents questions. Why are those aliens here? Did they come to say sorry? Chun led them to a large building in the city center. It looked like a council hall, but simpler, more welcoming. Inside, a group of humans sat waiting. These were the leaders of this new world. Former ambassadors, former generals, former scientists. People who spent their lives serving the galaxy that rejected them. An old man stood up. His hair was white and his face had deep lines, but his eyes were sharp and strong. ZYX recognized him. General Park, the man who commanded human forces during the last Void Fleet War. The man whose strategies saved billions of lives. The man who received no medals while others took credit for his victories. General Park spoke calmly. Welcome to New Terra, our home. You want us to return and fight your war. Tell me why we should. You called us weak. You spat on our sacrifices. You erased us from history. Give me one good reason why we should risk our lives for you again. The team members looked at each other. No one knew what to say. How do you apologize for decades of cruelty? How do you erase years of insults? Vorn tried to speak, but his voice failed. He had no good reason. None of them did. Then Ambassador ZYX stepped forward. He dropped to his knees. A Korthan warrior kneeling was unthinkable. It meant total surrender. Total shame. But ZYX did not care anymore. Tears ran down his face. His voice cracked as he spoke. You are right. We do not deserve your help. I do not deserve to even speak to you. I insulted Ambassador Chen every day. I called humans parasites, cowards, worthless. I laughed when you warned us. I mocked your kindness. I am the reason you left, and I will carry that guilt until I die. He looked up at General Park. His voice became stronger. But millions of innocent people are dying right now. Children who never insulted anyone. Mothers who just want to protect their families. Fathers who just want their kids to grow up safe. They did nothing wrong. They do not deserve to die because their leaders were fools like me. ZYX's voice broke again. Please, I am not asking you to forgive us. I am not asking you to come back for us. I am begging you to come back for them. For the innocent ones. They need you, even if we do not deserve you. The room fell completely silent. General Park stared at ZYX for what felt like forever. Then he looked at Ambassador Chun. She had tears in her eyes, too. She nodded slowly. General Park took a deep breath. He looked around at the other human leaders. They whispered among themselves, debating, arguing. Some shook their heads. Some wiped tears. This decision was tearing them apart. Finally, General Park raised his hand. Silence fell. We will vote. Every human in New Terra gets one vote. We are a democracy here. Everyone's voice matters. If the majority says, yes, we return. If the majority says, no, we stay. The vote will take place in 1 hour. You will wait here. The human leaders left the room. The team sat in heavy silence. ZYX remained on his knees. He did not move, did not speak, just prayed to whatever gods might listen. Please let them say yes. Not for me, for the innocent ones. Time moved slowly. Every minute felt like an hour. Finally, the doors opened. General Park returned. His face was unreadable. The vote is complete. The entire team held their breath. Their hearts pounded. The fate of the galaxy hung on his next words. General Park looked directly at ZYX. Then he spoke. Humanity has decided. His pause felt like an eternity. We will return. Not for your leaders, not for your empires, but for the innocent people who will die if we do nothing. We do not abandon those who need us, even if they abandoned us first. Relief flooded through the team. Some started crying. Others fell to their knees, thanking humans. But General Park raised his hand again. His expression turned cold. But understand this. We are not your friends. We are not your protectors anymore. We will fight this one battle. We will save your people. Then we leave. Forever. You will never contact us again. You will never follow us. This is the last time humanity saves you. After this you survive, or fall on your own. Do you accept these terms? Director Vorn stood up. His voice was firm. We accept. Thank you. Thank you for giving us more than we deserve. General Park nodded. Then prepare yourselves. We go to war tomorrow. And this time you will see what humanity truly is when we stop holding back. The next morning, thousands of human ships gathered in the sky above New Terra. But these ships looked different from the ones humans used before. They were larger, more advanced, built with technology the galaxy had never seen. weapons that glowed with strange energy, shield that bent light itself. These were not the ships of peacekeepers. These were the ships of warriors. General Park stood on the bridge of the flagship. Ambassador Chen stood beside him. Behind them were hundreds of human soldiers. Their faces were calm but determined. They were not doing this for glory, not for thanks. They were doing it because innocent people needed help. And that was enough. The team from the Galactic Council watched in amazement. Ambassador ZYX asked quietly, "You had these weapons the whole time. Why did you never use them before?" General Park answered without looking at him, "Because we believed in peace. We believed in giving others a chance. We held back our true strength, hoping you would learn to be better. But you never did. Now you will see what we are capable of when we stop being merciful." The human fleet entered the portal. The journey back felt faster this time. Within minutes, they emerged in their old galaxy. Immediately, alarms blared. The Void Fleet was close. Very close. They had reached the Council homeworlds. Millions were already dead. Planets were burning. This was the final battle. If humans lost here, the galaxy would fall. General Park gave the order. All ships engage. Show them what humanity is made of. The human fleet moved forward like a wave of light. They flew in perfect formation. Every pilot knew exactly what to do. Centuries of training. Centuries of fighting battles alone, while others took credit. All that experience showed now. The Void Fleet turned to face them. Their black ships moved like shadows. They had destroyed every force sent against them. They expected to do the same to humans. They fired first. Dark energy beams that erased matter from existence. The same weapons that destroyed the Corthan fleet in minutes. But human shields held. The beams hit the shields and scattered into harmless light. The Void Fleet seemed confused. They fired again. And again. Nothing worked. Human technology had advanced far beyond what the galaxy knew. General Park smiled coldly. Fire everything. Human ships unleashed their weapons. Beams of pure energy. Missiles that could track targets through dimensions. Cannons that fired compressed stars. The Void Fleet started taking damage. Real damage. For the first time in 200 years, they were losing. But the Void Fleet was not defenseless. They adapted quickly. Their ships split into smaller units. They surrounded the human fleet from all sides. A trap. The galaxy forces, watching from a distance, gasped in horror. The humans were outnumbered 10-1. Ambassador ZYX watched from his ship. He wanted to help, but General Park ordered all alien ships to stay back. "This is our fight. Stay out of it." ZYX felt useless. Helpless. Just like humans must have felt watching the galaxy mock them for years. General Park saw the trap forming. He did not panic. He spoke calmly into the communication system. "Formation Delta 7. All ships confirm." Hundreds of voices responded instantly. Confirmed. Moving into position. The human fleet suddenly changed shape. They formed a sphere with their strongest ships on the outside. A defensive formation that protected everyone inside. The Void Fleet attacked from all directions at once. Explosions lit up space like fireworks. Human ships took heavy damage. Some exploded. Lives were lost. But the formation held. And while the Void Fleet focused on breaking the sphere, humans activated their secret weapon. Ambassador Chen pressed a button on her console. From the center of the formation, a pulse of energy erupted. It was bright white and expanding fast. When it touched Void Fleet ships, they started glowing. Their black metal turned gray, then white, then they crumbled into dust. The pulse spread across the entire battlefield. Within seconds, half the Void Fleet was destroyed. General Park explained to his crew, "We studied the Void Fleet for 200 years. We learned their weakness. They exist partially outside our dimension. That pulse forces them fully into our reality. Once they are here, they are just metal and circuits. And metal breaks." The remaining Void Fleet tried to retreat, but humans did not let them escape. Ship after ship hunted them down. No mercy, no hesitation. This was not a battle. This was an execution. Within 2 hours, the entire Void Fleet was destroyed. Every single ship. The ancient enemy that nearly destroyed the galaxy twice was finally gone. The human fleet regrouped. Many ships were damaged. Many lives were lost. But they won. They saved the galaxy one last time. Cheers erupted across every planet with working communications. Aliens celebrated in the streets. They chanted human names. They called humans heroes, saviors, the strongest warriors in the galaxy. But humans did not celebrate. They counted their dead, mourned their losses, prepared to go home. General Park sent one message to the Galactic Council. The threat is eliminated. Our contract is complete. We are leaving now. Goodbye. Director Vorn sent an urgent reply. Please wait. Let us thank you properly. Let us honor your sacrifice. Let us make this right. But General Park did not respond. The human fleet turned toward the portal. They were going home. Ambassador ZYX could not let them leave like this. He flew his ship in front of the human flagship. He opened a direct channel to General Park. Please, just give us 1 minute. Let me say something. Anything. I cannot let you go without telling you the truth. General Park sighed. He appeared on ZYX's screen. You have 30 seconds. Speak quickly. ZYX felt his throat tighten. He struggled to find words. Finally, he spoke from his heart. I understand now. You were never weak. You were strong enough to choose peace when you could have chosen war. You were strong enough to protect people who hated you. You were strong enough to sacrifice everything and ask for nothing. That is real strength, true strength. And we were too blind and too proud to see it. His voice cracked. I spent my life believing strength meant power and dominance. But you taught me that strength means standing up for others, even when it costs you everything. You saved us. Again, not because we deserved it, but because innocent people needed help. That is who you are, and I am sorry. I am so sorry we never saw until now. General Park's expression softened slightly. He nodded once. Apology noted. But it changes nothing. We are still leaving. This galaxy is yours now. Protect it yourselves. Or do not. That choice is yours alone. His image disappeared from the screen. The human fleet flew toward Earth. They entered the portal one by one. The last ship to enter was General Park's flagship. Just before it disappeared, Ambassador Chin sent one final message to the galaxy. It played on every screen, every radio, every device capable of receiving signals. Her face appeared. She looked directly into the camera. To the people of the galaxy, we save you today, but this is goodbye forever. We are closing the portal behind us. You will never find us again. We hope you learn from this. We hope you treat each other better than you treated us. We hope you remember that kindness is not weakness, and we hope you survive. Because from this moment forward, you are truly alone. Take care of each other. You are all you have now. The message ended. The last human ship entered the portal. Then something incredible happened. The portal started shrinking, collapsing in on itself. Within seconds, it was gone. The gateway to New Terra closed forever. Humanity vanished from the galaxy for the second and final time. Silence fell across the galaxy. Every alien felt the weight of loss. Not just the loss of humanity, but the loss of something they never appreciated until it was gone. Safety, protection, someone who cared enough to save them. Ambassador ZYX stood alone on his ship, staring at empty space, where the portal used to be. He thought about Ambassador Chen's sad smile from years ago. She knew this would happen. She knew they would push humanity away. She tried to warn him, and he laughed at her. Now he finally understood. Humans were never weak. The galaxy was weak. Weak in character. Weak in gratitude. Weak in honor. And humanity was strong enough to walk away from that weakness and build something better. Director Vorn addressed the Galactic Council one last time. His voice was heavy with emotion. Let this day be remembered forever, not as the day we won, but as the day we learned the cost of taking good people for granted. Humanity saved us, protected us, died for us, and we gave them nothing but hate. They are gone now. We must be better. We must protect each other the way they protected us. Because no one is coming to save us anymore. The galaxy began to rebuild. It took years. Many empires fell. Many planets suffered. But slowly they learned. They learned to cooperate, to share, to help each other, because they had no choice. Humanity was gone. And the lesson they left behind was clear. Strength is not about power. It is about who stands beside you when everything falls. Humans stood beside the galaxy for centuries, until the galaxy pushed them away. Now they were alone, and they would have to learn to stand on their own, or fall together. In the end, the galaxy survived. But it was never the same. Every child learned about humanity in school. Every planet built monuments to honor them. Every leader swore to never forget the lesson. Kindness is not weakness. And those who mistake it for weakness lose something precious they can never get back. Ambassador ZYX lived for many more years. He spent the rest of his life teaching young aliens about humanity, about their sacrifice, about their strength. He made sure no one forgot. And when he died, his final words were simple. Thank you, Ambassador Chun, for everything. I finally understand. The galaxy learned its lesson. But the price was losing the best friends they never appreciated. And somewhere in another universe, humanity lived in peace, free at last from the people who could not see their worth. They were happy. They were safe. And they never looked back. 20 years passed since humanity left the galaxy. An entire generation grew up never seeing a human, but they all knew the stories. Every child learned about the people who saved everyone and asked for nothing in return. Ambassador ZYX was now very old. His blue skin had turned pale. His once strong body was weak, but his mind was still sharp. He spent these 20 years building the Human Memorial Center on his home planet, a place where people could learn the truth about humanity. The center had a massive hall filled with records, videos of human ambassadors speaking at councils, photos of human soldiers protecting alien worlds, documents showing human inventions that advanced the galaxy, letters written by humans to their families before they died in battles. Everything the galaxy tried to forget was now preserved forever. Young aliens came to the center every day. They walked through the halls, reading the stories. Many cried when they learned what humanity endured. The insults, the disrespect, the thankless sacrifice. One young Korthan girl asked ZYX a question that broke his heart. Why were we so mean to them? They only tried to help us. ZYX knelt down to her level. His old eyes were wet with tears, because we were afraid. Humans showed us what real strength looked like, and it made us feel weak, so we called them weak instead. We hurt them because we could not accept that they were better than us. His voice shook. I hope you never make the same mistake. Never hurt someone just because they make you feel small. The girl hugged him. She promised to always remember. ZYX watched her leave and felt a small hope. Maybe this generation would be different. Maybe they would learn from the past. Maybe humanity's sacrifice would not be forgotten. Director Vorn was now retired. He lived alone on a quiet planet. He spent his days writing a book. The title was simple. The Humans We Lost. The book told the real history. Not the lies the galaxy told itself, but the truth about who humans were and what they gave. He wrote about Ambassador Chun and her endless patience, about General Park and his brilliant strategies, about human doctors who cured plagues, about human engineers who built wonders, about human teachers who educated the galaxy, about ordinary humans who did extraordinary things every single day. The book became required reading in every school. Young people read it and felt ashamed of what their ancestors did, but they also felt inspired. If humans could be that good despite being treated so badly, then maybe they could be good too. The Galactic Council was very different now. Leaders actually listened to each other. Disagreements were solved with words, not weapons. Weak species were protected, not exploited. The Council followed principles humanity taught them, principles they ignored when humans were still here. One day, a strange signal appeared on galactic sensors. It came from the edge of explored space. A probe, very old. The design was human. Scientists brought it to the Council carefully. They opened it and found a message inside. A recording from 200 years ago. The face on the screen was a human woman. She looked tired but determined. Her voice was steady. This is Dr. Sarah Mitchell recording final log before we engage the Void Fleet. If anyone finds this probe, it means we failed. It means the Void Fleet won. It means humanity is gone. She paused. Looked directly at the camera. If that happened, please remember us kindly. We did not fight for glory. We fought because it was right. We protected you because you deserve protection, even when you did not appreciate it, even when you called us weak. We knew our worth, even if you did not. Her eyes filled with tears, but she did not look away. Tell our story. Tell the truth. Do not let history erase us again. We existed. We mattered. We gave everything. And we did it willingly, because that is what good people do. They stand up for others, even when it costs them everything. The recording ended. The council chamber was silent. Every leader present felt the weight of those words. This message was from the last Void Fleet War, the war humanity won, the war the galaxy took credit for. Dr. Sarah Mitchell probably died in that battle, died protecting people who would never thank her. Director Vorn was brought to see the recording. He watched it 3 times. Then he asked for the probe to be placed in the Human Memorial Center, next to a plaque that read, Dr. Sarah Mitchell, hero, one of millions who gave their lives for a galaxy that did not deserve them. Strange things started happening across the galaxy. Young people began calling themselves keepers of memory. They wore white bands on their arms to honor humanity. They traveled to different worlds teaching human values. Kindness, sacrifice, humility, strength through compassion. The movement grew. Millions joined. They rebuilt the old human colonies not to live in them, but to preserve them as sacred sites, places where people could remember, could reflect, could promise to be better. Ambassador ZYX attended one of these ceremonies. A keeper of memory asked him to speak. He stood before thousands of young aliens. His voice was weak, but his words were strong. I knew humans. I insulted them, mocked them, made their lives harder, and they still saved me. Still saved all of us. That is who they were. He looked at the crowd. Learn from my mistakes. Never take good people for granted. Never mistake kindness for weakness. And never forget that the strongest among us are those who lift others up, not those who push others down. The crowd stood in silence. Then one by one they raised their hands to their hearts. A gesture humans use to show respect. The gesture spread across thousands. A promise. A vow. We will remember. We will honor them. We will be worthy of their sacrifice. That night Ambassador ZYX died peacefully in his sleep. His last thoughts were of Ambassador Chun, her sad smile, her patient words, her unwavering kindness. He hoped somehow she knew that the galaxy finally understood, finally appreciated what humanity gave, finally learned the lesson. His funeral was attended by millions. People from every world, every species, all coming to honor the alien who spent his life honoring humanity. They buried him holding Ambassador Chen's journal, the one he found on Earth 20 years ago. So even in death, he could carry her words with him. The galaxy continued. Wars still happened, but less often. Cruelty still existed, but was challenged. Injustice still occurred, but was fought against. Not perfectly, not always successfully. But they tried. They tried, because humanity taught them that trying matters. Director Vorn finished his book on his deathbed. The final sentence read, Humanity saved us twice, once from the Void Fleet, and once from ourselves. We failed them in life. Let us honor them in memory. Let us become the people they believed we could be. The book was published the day he died. It became the most read book in galactic history. Every home had a copy. Every library displayed it. Every leader quoted it. The words lived on long after their author was gone. Centuries passed. The galaxy evolved. New species joined. Old species changed. Technology advanced. Cultures mixed. But one thing remained constant. Everyone knew about humanity. Everyone learned their story. Everyone remembered. And in another universe behind a closed portal, humanity lived on. They never knew about the memorials, the books, the movements, the changed galaxy. They did not need to know. They built their paradise and lived in peace, free from those who could not see their worth. But sometimes late at night some older humans wondered if the galaxy learned anything, wondered if their sacrifice mattered, wondered if things got better after they left. Ambassador Chin stood on a hill looking at two suns setting. General Park joined her. They were both very old now. He asked quietly, "Do you think they remember us?" She smiled, the same sad smile from years ago. "It does not matter if they remember. What matters is we did the right thing. We saved innocent lives. That is enough." General Park nodded. Then after a long silence, he said, "I miss it sometimes. The old galaxy. Despite everything, despite the pain." Chin understood. "Me too. But we made the right choice. We chose ourselves. Finally. And that is okay." They watched the suns disappear below the horizon. Behind them, New Terra glowed with lights. Happy voices. Peaceful lives. Humanity had found what they always deserved. Respect. Appreciation. Home. And across the universe in the old galaxy, a child read about humans for the first time. Her eyes went wide with wonder. She asked her teacher a simple question. "Will humans ever come back?" The teacher smiled sadly. "No, they are gone forever. But their lesson remains. Be kind, be strong, be worthy. That is how we honor them." The child nodded. She understood. Humanity was gone, but humanity's light still shined, teaching, guiding, reminding that the greatest strength is not power. It is choosing to be good when the world gives you every reason not to be. And that lesson would live forever.